Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Activism of Care. I hope your day is going amazing. And if you're interested, you can subscribe and click the bell icon. Enjoy my videos and social commentary. I'm welcoming people of all races, genders, orientations for this exploration of the truth regarding matters of public concern that are ignored and trivialized on a regular basis in our commode communities. And I scrutinize narcissistic abuse all the time, and I'm putting the spotlight on bullies and manipulators and psychopaths and bad leaders, bad professors, bad bosses. I'm putting the spotlight on those sons of bitches because the spotlight has unfairly been put on us good citizens. We have been wrongfully scrutinized. Every aspect of our personal lives have been put under a microscope, and we are viciously bullied, or we experience constant invasion of privacy by meddlesome narcissists that they get up in our lives and they scrutinize everything. Well, now I am turning the tables on those pigs, and I've been doing that for several years now with watchdog journalism. And I'm banging the gavel of social justice and setting the record straight that we live in a time where there's an epidemic or a plague of narcissism, and manipulation and exploitation is very common. This has most likely been going on for many generations, and it changes from or mutates in formation and structure. It changes gradually, little by little, from one generation to the next. But whenever there are people, there will be narcissists and psychopaths and other types of horrible people. And the more you ignore it, the more there will continue to be problems. So it's better to take a knowledgeable approach to everything. And I do a holistic analysis here. I hope you will donate right now through GoFundMe. It's easy, it's loving, it's generous, it's a humanitarian gesture to donate through GoFundMe.com. The link is under the video. God bless you for donating. God bless all of you for loving yourself as you attain more knowledge. We're breaking those barriers, whereas narcissists, they get up in our faces with their mucus-covered snout, and they bully us and lecture us all day long about how we'd better know our place in the community. That's what they do. Well, this video, I want to specialize my focus on that it's a special type of gaslighting that they do, that if the narcissist didn't see it happen, if the narcissist hasn't experienced it, then it never did happen. And that's what happens whenever you're dealing with those pigs. You want validation, or you want at least some type of understanding. You want some type of support and help. And they say, well, if I didn't see it happening, if I didn't see it, then it didn't happen. Okay, that's the attitude or the message that comes across. They are mucus-covered, flagrant, double-talking, double-dealing, double-chinned morons. They are nincompoops that have crawled right out of a dumpster to pester us with their double-speak gaslighting. So that's something that I wanted to bring out into the sunlight for further evaluation. They are like vampires and zombies that wither away in the sunlight. You dump a bunch of holy water on them. Holy water, symbolically, I want to tie that in, that the truth is actually like holy water to a vampire's hideous face. It's the truth and knowledge and research and courage and emotional intelligence and empathy is like sunlight to a vampire's stinky ass. It burns their ass and they disintegrate. That's what happens. But want to focus on the main idea here, that one of the most frustrating forms of gaslighting that they use on us is, hey, They tell you, hey, if I didn't see it happen, well, that means it most likely didn't happen, or I've never heard of that. So I doubt it's really true. Their attitude towards you is incredulous, skeptical all the time, disbelieving, constantly. They just constantly just don't believe you, don't want to listen to you, don't want to hear you explain. They don't want to hear you clarify. They don't want you to show them any proof. They just kind of push all of that away in a real arrogant, rude manner. This is their typical double talking, double dealing, gaslighting. Then 6 months later, they say, hey, how come you didn't tell me about this? Or a year later, they say, how come you didn't say anything? And you did. You tried to explain to them, but they were stubborn and they were blocking everything out that you had to say. They had cucumbers crammed in their ears, and they were just stubborn slobs with arrogance and on top of it, which just makes it worse for the victims who are trying to get a message across, like, hey, look, this is what's going on. And then the narcissist says, well, I didn't see it happen. Well, nobody else is talking about it. Well, nobody else saw it. This is the way that they discredit you and make you look like a ditzy, delusional buffoon, when it's actually the narcissist that's fucking you over and mind raping you with their double talk gaslighting gish gallop. So if you've experienced that, you've seen it in your relationships, and it's really pathetic if you see that in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Why the fuck are you in a relationship like that? That's optional. Get the hell out of that. And if you've got friends like that, like good friends that you've had for years, and you thought they were good friends, you thought they were trustworthy, but anytime you need support or anytime you are elaborating on some tribulations or just elaborating on how your life is going and how your life is unfolding, and you elaborate and clarify to some really close friends, and their attitude is, well, we didn't see that happen. Well, nobody else is talking about it. Well, it hasn't happened to me, so it couldn't be happening to you. Just the stubborn disbelief, digging in their heels, stubbornly not wanting to let you clarify, stubbornly digging in their heels, dragging their feet, and stomping away from a conversation. That is important to you. That's what I'm talking about here, is that us smart, eloquent people, we speak in ways because it's important to us to enjoy the free exercise of our First Amendment. That's what makes us different than the chimpanzees and the gorillas that you see in the zoo or out in the jungle. What makes us different is that we have very advanced ways of communicating with words. We form sentence structures and paragraphs, and we have the capacity to listen or use active listening. And unfortunately, the narcissist or the other personality disorder bums are like a subspecies in which that part is very primitive or very much like a chimpanzee or a troglodyte or a cave person, and their ability to communicate at our level, at our mature adult level, is not possible. Although they present themselves as above reproach, superior, and spectacular, they really are not above reproach. They're beneath contempt, and their communication and their listening is at the chimpanzee level. They're incontinent chimpanzees on a tire swing, and it's a big problem. It's a big issue for us people that have mature adult conversational skills. That and conversation is not just to make small talk or to BS our ways through life. Communication is the way in which we build rapport, in which we resolve problems or conflicts. Communication is in which we generate warmth, good times, good humor, and we build trust, and we bond with loved ones or friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, bosses. Well, humans are social creatures. We're social. But as you really scrutinize cluster B personalities, they only appear social and extroverted on the surface. That's all method acting. That's all bullshit. And once you start to get to know them after a couple of weeks, you realize that they're extremely self-obsessed, extremely self-absorbed at the expense of everyone around them. And like I said, one of the, red flags is if you start seeing that they just do not believe you when you start reporting trends or patterns in the community, you start to report or elaborate, or you start to want to talk about issues that are a matter of public concern, and the narcissist says, well, I didn't see that. Well, if it didn't happen to me, well, it can't possibly be happening to you. Or if it's happening to you, then you must be crazy. You must be doing it to yourself. Notice how the narcissist just really turns everything against you. You have an opinion. You articulate research that you've looked into. You articulate knowledge. You articulate ideas or solutions, or you articulate fair, honest criticism, and you use communication to advance yourself as well as those that are in your life. And the narcissist butts their big stinky ass up in your face and says, hey, look, no, you don't know how to talk like an adult. You're just a nobody. You're a buffoon, and whatever you're complaining about can't possibly be true. If it didn't happen to me, then it's not happening to you. And if nobody else is talking about it, then you must be imagining everything. And nobody else has come to me complaining or verbalizing any opinions like that. Nobody else is as judgmental as you are. And notice how the narcissist deliberately confuses the issues. They, exacerbate or inflame the emotions of you and everybody around them, and they cause mass hysteria with their double dealing, double talking, gaslighting. They do it. They just do that so automatically. It is just absolutely exhausting to be around those buffoons, and they cause chain reactions of mental anguish. They really do. So as a result, I'm over here doing a lot of vlogging because I've seen an upward trend of all this bullshit. And I like to document it. I like to talk about it. These are matters of public concern. We all of us should be discussing this, but not everybody has the gift of eloquence, and it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of courage and energy to develop a very advanced style of communicating. It takes a lot of practice, but I think it's worth it to practice that. And I think you should keep talking, writing, communicating, typing, blogging, emailing, whatever it is. You should do that to advance the community. It as it relates to community well-being, as it relates to as it relates to your individual rights as a citizen. All of this is really important. And in the meantime, I really do hope that all of you do find better relationships with people. It is difficult in a commode community where there are more narcissists, more borderline, more disturbed alcoholics and drug addicts than there are people that are just, peaceable and trustworthy and nice. So commode community means there's such low morale, and there's a lot more personality disturbed people than there are healthy people. So it's a big problem, and I'll probably talk more about this issue since it's really common, especially this type of double talking, gaslighting where the narcissist, hey, if it didn't happen to me, then it can't be happening to you. You must be imagining things. You must be too sensitive. You must be crazy. And the narcissist misses the forest or the trees as usual, confuses all the issues, and changes the subject because they don't want to hear anything about the truth or anything about reality. So that's my video for today. Thank you. Have a good day.